Today, we have a special guest, one of the Chickenfoot Coven, who she played Dearne Hall on the last episode of Dice Camera Action. Kikka, thank you very much for jumping in for this Waffle
Happy to
Talk.
be here.
And hello to Luka Troopa, anybody in the chat. If you post anything, it'll come up on the screen. So if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and throw them in there, and we'll try to address them as we go. So, Shauna, could you recap this episode for us?
Yes. So after the last episode, visiting the Castlehunter mansion, the Waffle crew comes up to the Chickenfoot Coven, who are locked out. Getting in, they encounter Jarlaxle, who has basically hires the group to make a pie for a specific critic, which includes several ingredients which the characters pair off. So Critter goes with Diath and has like a little submersible adventure to get some sort of lichen. Parla goes off with Warrington Munt, and Dearne Hall has a rather scary encounter with like a pie maker, and figure out what the pies that the pie maker makes were made out of people. So after successfully gathering the ingredients, they give the pie to the said critic. Critic loves it, but then at the end, he bursts into flames a similar way that Father Sunbright did. So that's where we leave the episode. Everybody lived, so this time there wasn't any murder attempt on Critter this time. So it's good.
And that was the same. So okay, so that was that sun death poison, right? The drow poison.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
That the group sort of got almost framed for using on Father Sunbright. So here's one thing I didn't get. How did the poison get applied to the pie?
I was thinking that it might have been made from a combination of the ingredients plus the heat.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's kind of like the ingredients could be something.
Yeah, like Dearne purified at least the lichen before it was used in the pie.
That's a good point.
So I was thinking it was like, it was like magic pears, and also the fact that it's possibly a magical poison, and purify food and drink doesn't cure magical poisons. So,
what was the name of the recipe that Jarlaxle gave? It was like Luskin something.
Fractal helix.
Yeah, it's
fractal helix.
I think it was partially because of the GIF he found. Because that was very fractally in appearance.
Jesus.
Phoenix Iwaki, hello from Japan. Oh.
Whoa.
Rena used to live in Japan, so.
Yeah.
I've heard that if you live in Japan for years, you might not necessarily pick up the language. Is that true? It's like a hard language to learn. Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah. It's very hard.
I can order food.
Oh.
I can survive.
Simon says,
about all I've got.
Now, what are the chances the pie was just so good he was ready to... No, get out of here. He burst into flames.
Okay. So here's my thought about it all. So Jarlaxle said that this critic had visited Luskin or whatever and not liked his Underdark pie that he made. So like, I'm just picturing Jarlaxle as like so petty that he makes like this super pie that's delicious, and he's just like, "How do you like that?" And it just kills him. Yeah, I hope you like that, you son of a bitch.
In the way opposite than Underdark, just like, okay, you don't like darkness, have all of the light.
I'm just imagining Jarlaxle baking like in an apron.
I know.
Like a frilly apron.
I love that that's canon now.
Yeah.
Just the tip of his hat and we're good to go.
It's the fanciest apron. It's fabulous.
Luka Troopa says that the pie might have had to cool for a few more minutes. Yes, definitely. Definitely, probably. So, like, Kikka, can you talk about just what's it like being on Dice Camera Action and playing D&D with freaking Chris Perkins and the Waffle Crew? Like what? How what's
It's-
it like?
I'm very nervous going into it every single time, but everyone is so into their characters, and Chris Perkins is so good at very effectively weaving a scene that you just can't help but just be in character yourself. You just kind of get swept away with it.
Mhm.
I
Do
always
they-
feel like there's a million things I want to do too, but I have to there's never enough time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they? Is there anything that's said before the show? Like, I mean, do you just
there's
show up and play, or is there any kind of like setup or
mean,
anything like that?
there's socializing, but a lot of the setup is done by people who work at Wizards.
Okay.
So everything's just get set up and go. I did chat with the people there. I've actually known Anna for years, and since my last appearance, I've become friends with Holly. So we kind of just were chatting as friends most of the time.
It's awesome.
Feel weird saying because I feel like I'm bragging, but I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
It's okay. You know,
How it works, right?
I'm not trying to. I'm just explaining.
Uh-huh.
Chris is the last time we played, like the first time we played. Chris was in a meeting up until like the second we were going.
Mhm.
So he just showed up and we started, and it was kind of very sudden and jarring. But this time he was there the whole time, and he sort of eased us into it, but didn't tell us anything about what was happening at all.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it was just like, oh no, you guys will be fine. Nothing's, just don't worry about anything. Everything's fine. You're safe.
You're safe.
NPCs, maybe not.
True.
Is there anything like on this episode that you wanted to do that you weren't able to?
Really, I just wanted to interact with characters more, but I got sent off on my own.
Mm.
But what I did really like being able to finally have Dearna interact with Paulton,
Mm.
which was great.
Yeah, you said some things about. Are you? What is it? Are you in love with Evelyn, or what was how?
Like, because the first show with the Chickenfoot Coven, Evelyn gave Dearna the test and asked her about telling someone that about loving them, like when they should do it, and she incited Evelyn and sort of figured out that it was sort of like thinly veiled and asking
Right.
for advice.
Mhm.
So Dearna walked up to Evelyn, pointed to Paulton, who she hadn't really seen that much of, and asked her if that was the one that she was in love with. I really liked that. I really like that Simon is a real boy now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, yep, that's the one.
You know, Simon could have gone with you on your mission. That would have been.
Yeah.
I could have teleported him away with me.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, you could.
Mhm.
That would have been pretty good. Go to the cannibal pie guy. See how.
Yeah.
Thrakus.
Before Simon got turned into a real boy, I was planning on having Dearna communicate with him via awakened mind,
Mm.
Oh,
but that didn't come up in the first show.
not bad.
Aya says that she loves that you kept giving was it Paulton boozed when he asked questions?
Yeah.
Simon says Simon would have made that interaction way more controlled. Yeah. Well, Simon is like, I think Dearna is sort of is Dearna a troublemaker? Would you say?
She's like dry humor, sarcastic troublemaker type.
Mm.
I guess in a way she's kind of like if you crossed Strix with Paulton.
Like, so did they talk at all about what does the Coven do most of the time? Do they work in the kitchen? Is that the deal with the Coven?
Yeah, they work in the pie shop for the most part, and they go off do their own things in their off time.
Mhm.
But it is, I think, assumed that they'd show up and just work during work hours.
Okay.
I wonder why, like, Chris. Someone had said in a previous episode that Chris was kind of insistent on having this coven, right? He mentioned it a few times, and it's kind of like, why, right? Like, is there a campaign reason for it? Like, was he enthusiastic about it because he wanted to do this contest thing, or it doesn't feel like that was the reason. It felt like there's some reason that he wants the coven in the game. It's like I'm wondering if it's going to play into something like further down the road. Like Strix is going to need this coven for X reason, you know.
After the show, Chris did say that he was wanting to have an episode with just the Coven and Strix.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god.
Of course, nothing on that is planned yet, so
Yeah.
it might happen, it might not, but
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
The way it seems like they're gearing up for them to like possibly do like maybe Mad Mage stuff. And like who's gonna take care of the house? Who's gonna run the businesses? Like all y'all.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Because if they go into the dungeon for an extended period of time, Strix has that spell that, what's it called? Word of Recall.
Word of Recall, yeah.
Where she can go home. So maybe there will come a point where they're in the dungeon and Strix has to retreat and go home. Maybe she gets split up or something. So she goes back to the house where the Coven is there and there's some kind of shenanigans going on. And,
or the Coven people have to take care of the 3 kids.
Yeah, got left at their neighbor's house.
Yeah, left at Paul's, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't go pick them up.
Oh well.
For the best.
Dearna said she was going to, but then just didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like, okay, wait, yeah, I like a C team type game with the Coven. Maybe there will be like a spin-off thing.
That would be fun.
The Coven, and maybe it'd be like Strix and the Coven every week. Maybe Hollywood run it. I don't know, but that would be awesome.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, that would be freaking cool. And it could be like if the group goes into the dungeon for like months, then the campaign would be about what happens up in Waterdeep with the Coven while the group is down in the dungeon of the Mad Mage for months.
And we get to deal with the Zentarum and into Arth and
God.
It would be funny if the Coven is actually much better at business than any of the Waffle crew. It's just like, this is so much better.
I think just off of this one episode, Dearna on her own is better at business.
Yeah, I mean, there's most of them don't know what to do with money, so that's
true.
You take it. That's what you do.
Take it.
That detect thoughts thing was so cool. I'm like, because it's like that's so clever. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Simon says that the Coven is downstairs working, except anytime that Paulton is also present. And Author Brain says, are the kids still at the house, though? Pretty sure they got Pied Pipered. What do you mean? What's that mean?
Who even knows?
Who knows where those kids went?
Because pies.
I mean, he didn't say if they went back inside, but he did say that the person who gave them the stuff just vanished.
Yeah.
Oh, right, the items. Right.
Yeah.
That's right. They got given those items.
That we kind of like theorized it was Jarath. So I guess if he disappeared, he didn't have far to go, I guess.
If it was
true.
That's true.
You're right.
He just went
inside, locked the door, and
Yeah.
Got into dramatic seating, and Strahd von Cherevich was like, "Okay, I'll just wait for them."
Yeah, he gave them the items, and then just went inside and waited in the darkness.
It would have been fun if the Waffle crew just decided to not go inside.
Yeah.
Just left him there the whole episode.
It's done.
Thing in this chair.
They'll come eventually.
They're gonna have to. They could have smoked him out or something, I guess. You know. Like, yeah. So, Dearna's mission was to go to the pie guy, and that and this episode was a lot of material from Dragon Heist got put to use.
Yeah.
Like, Thrakis is a thing, and a lot of the stuff, the Grinda Garloth, the Mistshore stuff. So Chris took a whole bunch of Dragon Heist and slapped it all into one episode, which was really cool. And so you went to the Field Ward, which is that place just outside the city, where it's like a slum, like a real dump. And the were-rats, you run into the were-rats, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna have a combat. And it felt like Chris was like, oh, we're gonna have a combat. Then Deanna's like, no, we're not.
I'm just gonna yell at them away.
Combat? What is that? No.
What
Yeah,
what
that's
level are the Coven characters at? Okay, if you can
fifth
say.
level.
Hmm?
5th level.
Ah.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah.
Level 5.
Which is the same starting level as Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
True.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Dearnay was not made with combat in mind. But her highest skill is intimidation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, her whole shtick is running away and yelling at things.
Hmm.
Or the other way around. Just either order. Yeah.
Was it said on the first episode that Deanna was it dogs pulling a cart and people think
Yeah.
you're a ghost? Is that
Yeah,
right?
she has beast speech as one of her eldritch invocations, so she has speak with animals going 24/7.
Yes. It's
Sound
always,
familiar? Okay.
it's always the best to get DMs to do their different animal voices, like
Yes, it
talk to
is.
this
Oh,
pigeon,
jeez.
Mhm.
talk to this rat.
No,
You
from
learned so
personal
much.
experience.
Phoenix Siwaki says, Kikka, they loved your dry humor and delivery.
Yeah, that's kind of just a racial trait from growing up on Long Island.
No, but it's like, as a viewer, it really does look like you're very comfortable and totally in the game. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. You're like, you got a million ideas and you're firing them off. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's really fun to watch. Like, it's not like, because I would imagine, like, I'm sure most fans watching this have all imagined, wow, imagine what if I was on Waffle Talk. And like, I get sweaty just thinking about it, But you look, you're just awesome, man.
Yeah,
You
it's
just jump right in, and
I sort of use the character so that I, Kikka, don't get nervous.
That's what I do when I play too.
Yeah.
So I get you.
So yeah, Thrakis was a dragonborn, was
Yeah.
chopping up people and putting them in pies. Did you kill him? I don't remember.
No, I ran away.
You ran.
I
Heard
heard
him real
him
good.
with my explodey teleport.
Oh yeah, right.
oh
Yeah.
yes,
Like-
yes.
Thunderwave. Only you move fast.
Mm.
Chris was like, and you look back and he is not dead. And I'm like, well, I'm just gonna keep running away. Thank you, Chris. I don't want to fight.
Then there was the old Diath paired up with Critter,
Yeah.
and they went into one of my favorite D&D magic items, the Apparatus of Qualish.
Yes.
Loved that. And they
Love
dove
it.
down looking for lichen. Is that what it was?
Yep.
Did they find the lichen?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of hand waved, like, yeah, you found it. It's
You
fine.
found it, whatever.
It was on the chest. I think. Yeah, it's like they're so excited about it. It's like, yeah, it's on the chest.
The point was to find the treasure chest and see Zelithorn and stuff.
And there was they spotted a creature, like a huge
Yes.
tail, right?
Mhm.
But
They
they
did.
didn't really engage with it, right?
No,
Like,
they just saw that it had bronze scales.
They saw it, and he was like, kill the lights. Not dealing with it.
If it was a bronze dragon, though, that would have been interesting because they are good and, if I recall correctly, enjoy conversation.
Mm.
Or am I
Yes.
getting
You have a kobold with them, so
No, you're true. They enjoy conversation.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it could have been like a nice back and forth between Diath and the spooky bronze dragon, with Critter there being a little garbage kobold, who I love.
no.
Critter's my favorite.
Does
Critter's good.
the apparatus have like a microphone feature to go into the water though? Because
It might.
Yeah.
I
Point.
don't know.
They should. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they could have communicated.
Maybe
But that
unless
stuff.
telepathy is a thing.
Or it could be a telepathic dragon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then they kept sinking, and
Mhm.
they kind of got caught in the rigging of a wrecked ship, and they fell through the deck of a wrecked ship, and then they found a treasure chest. And Diath got really excited about this treasure chest.
He has got star eyes and heart eyes at the same time.
He did. But we still don't know what's in the treasure chest.
Nope.
Yeah. So.
It's just currently in his room looking aesthetic.
And he's kind of savoring the opening of the chest.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be something terrible. Watch out.
Yep.
Take his one joy and just like dash it.
No, it would be hilarious if it was just wine with barnacles on it.
Oh, it's Paulton's stash.
Yeah.
Paulton's stash.
Right, because he would send Simon into diving to steal wine from a wrecked ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it just could be more of that wine. Although this sounds like it might have been a different ship.
Yeah,
Probably.
It seems like it was deeper
Mm-hmm.
because that one was like in the mud flats, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't get to it anymore because Simon's a real boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they invite Dearne back to cast water breathing on them because she can cast any ritual spell
Nice.
that is of a level she can cast.
Mm.
Spiegelstern says, I think time ran out with all the different teams. Yeah, because Chris was trying to get it all done on this. Because there was a point on the show where I was wondering, oh, are we going to have to do another episode? Because it didn't feel like everybody was going to get done.
Yeah.
But they did get done. But it did seem like he had to chop a little bit when he realized the time was running short and he had all these other people. I mean, what was 7 players, was it total?
Yeah.
And the party split up in like 4 different ways.
Yeah, when you have like just everyone goes whoosh everywhere. It's like, oh.
So, you got
an impressive amount of stuff done for that much split off. Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought it was fine. I thought it worked pretty well.
Yeah.
Like I said off the stream, like in old comic books, when 2 teams would team up, sometimes they would have all the members pair off, or and each chapter would be a different pairing. So that's kind of what it felt like to me was team up, sort of like a
one goes off alone.
Yeah, I think well, I wanted to see Deanna and Evelyn again, but
that would have been funny.
But there was Jarlaxle was there, so
hey,
what are you gonna do? Jarlaxle, who very smoothly swooped in, right?
Yeah.
He changed forms to look like Paulton, but taller.
Oh.
With John Lennon sunglasses.
Oh.
I don't know. Is that?
I think that's just a classic trope of you're a drow in the sunlight, now put on sunglasses.
The way I pictured it like Gary Oldman in like the 90s Dracula movie.
Oh,
because he like it looks exactly like that. So, all right.
Yeah, and they went to the city of the dead, the graveyard.
Yeah.
And that's all that stuff was detailed in Dragon Heist also. And they go there, and there was some. Well, first of all, he wanted to show her some flower that only bloomed. It was like kind of sun related, and he was just happened to be talking about how interested he is in the sun, and wouldn't you know it, Evelyn worships the god of the sun, and it's just like, well, this guy's, Paulton. How much more of this? Well, it seems like Paulton's really got to be. There's a lot of pressure on Paulton.
It's a lot of pressure for Paulton because especially a lot of the people that are vying for Evelyn's are higher tier than he is, like way higher than you can compete with Jarlaxle and
no.
It's true. No,
but
low tier.
He's too smooth.
Like Jarlaxle's.
even Omen, it's like, oh
yeah,
watch out.
All right, wait, yeah. So Omen, Jarlaxle, Todd.
I feel like he goes after Todd because I think he's the only one. Like Todd's the only one he can actively antagonize.
True.
Without much repercussion.
Now that like Diath is possibly like his boss, it's like now it's gonna be like tormenting Todd.
But in the end, I mean, if Evelyn had to pick,
Yeah,
it would be
course,
Paulton, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
But she's
Definitely.
she's just kind of oblivious, right,
Yeah.
to all these other people. She thinks they're just being nice for the most part, right?
At
Or
her
does she-
current headspace,
Mm.
yes.
Yeah. So
Because if I remember correctly, at one of the question panels, it's if you sit her down and told her, then she'd know. And she's like, yeah, I know,
Mhm.
clearly. But she's just emotionally blocking it right now.
Mhm.
and that's why I got a kick out of Dearnay kind of throwing it out there. So
They've
been
they've all had it like basically spelled out to them. It's like it's
Yeah.
I wonder why
Yeah,
Simon just like stop. Simon's just like, oh my god, these people.
that's right. Yeah, Simon did it too.
I think Evelyn might also be kind of keeping her distance after because of hearing about Paulton's wife.
Mm.
That's right.
True.
That's
This
right.
is true.
Forgot about that.
And then there was the time in the Shadowfell when he's like, emotions are hard.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, it's the ball's in Paulton's court.
And Evelyn still doesn't remember her time, like when she died and went into the Soulmonger and then went to heaven and
That's
stuff.
right.
It's like-
Like when Lathander said it was like it's okay, you know.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to have feelings.
Yeah, but that's right. She doesn't remember that though, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Huh.
Remembers flying on a Pegasus with a little boy.
Yeah.
But that's all she's got, I think, right now.
That's all she remembers from that. Yeah. Simon says, I feel like after Jarlaxle killed all the innocent people at the end of the episode, Evelyn is not interested anymore.
Okay, listen, he killed one dude, and it was a dude who insulted his pies. So he kind of had it coming.
Mm-hmm.
I think Evelyn wouldn't see that as a good excuse.
No, but still,
No.
I don't think so either.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
I think she would try to give him a firm talking to.
Yeah, I could see that. Also, Jarlaxle's little discussion with Evelyn about the sun, and he mentioned that, I mean, he's the leader of Bragendareth, who are all like outcast drow, but he mentioned like helping other members of the drow escape the like Lolth-dominated society and find like new gods. And it was during this whole sun talk. So like, I know when Father Sunbright died, we talked a lot about, you know, who killed him, yada yada. Why? I think at this point, it's obvious that Jarlaxle killed him, but I think the High Priestess, the Drow lady, might be someone that Jarlaxle helped in the past, and like they might be a thing. Not romantically, maybe. I don't know, but
and didn't the cultists of Asmodeus say that they had paid tribute to that church, and maybe it was getting rid of Father Sunbright was so that Bragendarth could have gotten a foothold in with the church and gotten the cult of Asmodeus out.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And
But
that's
then
true.
Also, wouldn't that poison end up framing the person who came in?
You know,
I was also saying last week when they mentioned that, I was also thinking that they could have been behind the rebranding to a Church of Aminator, because dealing with neutral, like lawful neutral Aminator is probably easier for the lawful evil cultist than the neutral Lathander.
Yeah.
So then Jarlaxle.
Like, you can tell there's so much going on behind the scenes, but the Waffle crew are just
I know.
They're
just chaosing their way through everything.
I want to know what's going on in Chris's head with all this intrigue.
Yeah, that's true. They very rarely like dive beneath the surface.
I'm not great at intrigue.
But Jarlaxle, so he might be schmoozing up to Evelyn partly because of the church then. So he might have more than one motive there. He's trying to get in good with the church so he can do
He
whatever.
usually does.
Phoenix says, what happened to you? Joe Axel had a Sean Connery accent? Did he?
Man.
I don't think he did in Dice Camera Action.
It's true.
Although
Because Chris plays Drow with a Frenchy accent.
French, yeah.
So.
Simon
He
says,
does,
sorry, go ahead.
he does have a disguise in Dragon Heist that might be inspired by a Sean Connery movie, though.
Ah, yes, that one.
So,
Right, yeah, Zardoz.
yeah.
And he might be able to do the accent there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Simon says, if you're talking about Jarl Axel and another character, it's always a thing. That's just how he rolls. Yeah, definitely possible that Jarl Axel and that Drow who's taking over the church are in cahoots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Possible.
Remises, with the title of the next episode being 3 Ships, we have Stryath and Evilton. But who do you think the third ship is?
I'm
Evelyn?
pretty sure the ships are, it's like a pun.
This horrible Christmas titles. It's just
Because puns.
Yeah.
But what if the third ship is literally just a ship they have to go on?
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
I don't want to spoil Dragon Heist.
I don't want to either.
There is
Stuff.
somebody linked to 3 ships. That they're
Yes.
actual ships. But if it's Chris, I mean, that's probably a double
Yeah, probably.
entendre. So yeah,
Also-
what would the third ship be? I don't know.
There's something very silly that I learned. Evidently, in the Forgotten Realms calendar, the year that Dragon Heist takes place is 1492, the year of 3 ships sailing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Gosh
Yep.
dang it.
Wow. Wow.
No, they can't let those ships sail.
If there was a third ship, what would it be? I mean, it's a weird group, right?
Yeah.
They're paired off. It's
Mhm.
2 couples adventuring
Yeah.
together, essentially.
Yeah.
It's weird. I've never seen that before. Although neither one of them is actually a couple, which is also
No.
weird.
Yeah.
Function like
So, yeah, who knows? The third ship, yeah, might be like an Evelyn branch off ship because she's got a lot of suitors.
Or they might just play like matchmaker.
Mm.
Mhm.
Tierney will seduce Paulton, and that will be the third ship.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Confirmed.
Could happen.
I didn't know you worked here until yesterday, but wow.
I mean, giving him, I'll call. It's a good spot.
True.
I think Evelyn would be devastated if that happened, right?
Oh,
No.
might be some grander plot to get her to actually confess to him.
Mhm.
Mm.
Someone's gotta be pushed.
Yeah, stirring it up. Yeah. Oh, here's something that Strix keeps saying things like I think there was one where it's like she said she didn't know what a boyfriend was on this episode.
Yes.
Mm.
Can someone what does
There-
Strix know? What does Strix not know?
Strix doesn't know very much because she basically lived as an urchin in Sigil until she got dropped off in the Feywild, and that's where she was until Waterdeep. So
Yeah.
no one, I doubt Baba Yaga taught her about that sort of stuff. So
And then she lived for 80 more years in the Feywild.
yeah, no one's told her anything.
She spent a lot of time in Barovia too. But I thought it was like she said something like it was almost like she didn't know what a married couple was. It
Mm.
was like you've run into those, right? But it seems like the hurdle in the Strix Diaz relationship is more that Strix has no idea how it works, or
Mm.
like she's never done it, like had a romantic relationship, and
Mm-mm.
doesn't have
Mhm.
any idea on how it works or
Mhm.
whatever, and she's totally freaked out by it, right?
might also just have different ideas of what romance is than
Mhm.
normal, so she
Yeah.
might not be like emotionally equipped for a normal relationship,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Yeah, of course.
Based off of what I'm seeing,
Hmm.
I just think she doesn't understand society and how it just works in general, from
Mm-hmm.
politically, economically, socially, and sub branch of socially, romantically. So there's that. It's like, for sure, she's met married couples. Just met one last session.
Sure.
Yeah,
But probably thinks it's nothing more than something she already has. Like, oh yeah, they're just people who live together in the same house with the same goals.
And sometimes children show up and they get children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes
That-
you
that-
almost make deals to have a baby and don't know what that means.
Let's see. Luca Trooper, the next ship is Thunder and Lightning. Okay. Sima.
Yeah.
Sima would kill for more Deanna and Paulton interactions. Yeah, it was good. I love it when people poke them,
Mhm.
like the like, why did you, and they get all like,
enjoy the Squidly's dad's joke.
I know. I was
Yeah.
just
That was
saying, I love
amazing.
that too.
Squidly's dead. Can I have the dagger back, please? I didn't realize you were talking to me.
Strix knows nothing, says Sima, except how to make donuts. Well, she knows
Hey.
how to cast spells and stuff like that too.
She knows magic.
Yes. Baba Yaga didn't give her the talk. Probably not.
No.
We know nothing about her time with Baba Yaga, right? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
Just that she taught her how to make donuts.
Yeah. Being raised by hags it would make sense that she wouldn't understand it, because hags make more hags by kidnapping children and of corrupting them so they turn into hags.
Yeah. And like, the only other person I can think of who was raised by Baba Yaga is Igwil, and she doesn't have the best
That's
relationship
it's not a great track
acumen
record.
either.
No, it's not a good.
So,
That would be really cool if Strix became a hag, like at least for a while. That might be
Jeez.
would be pretty cool,
Yeah.
actually.
awesome. Get her own hut, like there's the creeping hut, the dancing hut. She could have a Strix hut of some kind. That'd be
I mean,
awesome.
legally she might be a hag. She kind of has a hut. She has
True.
a coven.
Yeah. She does have
That'd be
a coven.
awesome if Troll Skull Manor somehow got big chicken legs and like walked out of Troll Skull Alley.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be
Just like-
great.
Rad.
Similar to what happened during Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be cool.
Mhm.
What if it was the head of a giant troll that was buried underground,
Oh,
and it was just like troll body with like a house on top of it?
That would be awesome.
That's
It is
rad.
the skull.
That
Troll-
would be
the troll-
awesome.
Oh my god. So
They should do
already
that.
does have the walking statues. So like, that's freaking rad.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Yes.
The literal skull. The troll skull.
Yeah, that would be awesome. They should do that.
And there's just been like a control board for the whole thing, like with the bar the whole time, but no one's bothered to look at it.
Be like, what's in that closet? I don't
Whatever.
Buttons. Oh.
know.
Like-
Remises says Strix doesn't understand what a tender caress means. That's true.
Cursed.
Yeah, just
It means cursed.
yeah.
Cursed. Sima says also Diath doesn't want to take any risks on that front. That isn't helpful. Diath is a very troubled character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Has stuff.
a little bit.
Can't wait for the episode where he finally confronts his past.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right?
It will be forced upon him. Just
Please.
with it. Yes.
yeah. Like
Oh boy.
Diath like beats himself up a lot.
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to the time when he, hopefully, he stops or confronts whatever the problem is and Because Dieth is like a hero, you know. He's your, you know, he's a hero.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a cop.
He's a cop.
He's a cop. Yeah.
He's a damn good cop. All right, Saima. Like the concept of money. Yes, that's true. Strix also doesn't.
It's not great when your boss doesn't know what money is.
Luca says Luca's not caught up on, but is not seeing that kind of chemistry with Strix and Dieth, which we've mentioned before. Yeah, it is something, but it might not be your you know, it might be a little different, but there is a bond, right?
Chemistry thing, I feel like it harkens back to Strix's naivete, if is that how you say the word, and Dieth's, I don't want to ruin the friendship that I have built. So,
Also,
but he's crushing real hard. So I mean,
I think early on, Holly said that Strix was aromantic.
yes,
So that
remember that.
changed over time, and she does have romantic feelings, and it could just be that she doesn't understand having feelings at all. And her only way of dealing with it is shoving them in a closet.
It's like, don't want to deal with it at all. Just
I don't understand this, so get it away from me. I'm too busy.
I thought you meant put Strix and Dieth in a closet, like at a high school party or something.
No, but the feelings.
Nothing would happen. They just sit.
It's like
nothing would happen.
If Dieth is an angel, it really would be 7 minutes in heaven.
No, oh god.
I wonder when those soul worm things are going.
Oh, those things are still.
Oh god.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
oh yeah.
Maybe
And
Paulson
where
doesn't
is
have one of those because he
soul?
died already, but like those two still have those awful soul worms.
Yeah, and where is Dieth's soul? Because it
Yeah,
was
right.
in a box. It was said it
Yeah.
was in a box somewhere.
Yeah, Shemeshka's.
Shemeshka has.
Shemeshka's
Yeah.
mentioned.
Yeah, and Dieth heard it, so why the heck doesn't he want to go get his own soul?
Doesn't want to
Same
deal with it.
reason.
Maybe doesn't.
That's out of
Scared of Shemeshka.
everything on the show. That's the thing I'm looking forward to the most. Is
Yeah.
Yeah.
that whole thing. I want to see
I love Shemeshka the Marauder.
Yeah.
So
by
You know.
far. That's.
I
gonna be
love her
best.
as a character, but I would probably be like Dieth and go, please don't do anything.
We gotta wrap it up in a minute, but let me see if I can get through these real quick. Ramice, Strix did get jealous when she saw evil Dieth and evil Evelyn. Yes.
Yeah.
Even though.
Why
Holly
are you
said
eating each other's faces?
No,
Oh, she also
that's-
got fairly jealous when the Red Viper, like
right.
kind of playing the moves on Dieth.
And even Paulton was trying to separate them. Like he
A
sat.
little room for Lysander.
Yeah, he wanted them to. I love Lady Rajnar's awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
I love the Lady Rajnar DF team. I love that. They're awesome together. Did Baba Lysaga race Throd? Yeah, she was the I don't know. What do you call that? She's not the
Midwife?
mom, but midwife. Yeah.
Mhm.
She also teach Strix how to goat blood bathe.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Cool.
Strix has been tutored by Baba Yaga and Baba Lysaga.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. Maybe it'll be Baba Strix at the end.
Just thinking that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
In her troll skull hut, stomping around. I can't wait for the next time someone crushes on Paulton. We've seen it with Evelyn so much lately. That's true, but anyone remember Evelyn tackling Paulton's bride during his Barovian wedding? Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's true. And Escher too. Escher was into Paulton too.
Mhm. And that one
True.
guy from ChairCon.
The guy from ShareCon.
And the Shatter Kai.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little.
Shatter.
Brave Winter.
Yeah.
that's true.
I think it would be awkward if anyone else crushes on Paulton, given how he's still not quite over his murdered wife.
Mm.
That's gonna come. I don't know. I don't know what that story's about, but that's definitely gonna be
It's
something.
It's not like it's unhealthy for him to get out and have healthy relationships with people.
Sima says, Holly said on Twitter that after the 50 years in Barovia, the aromantic thing switched to Ace, if I remember correctly. Ace? I don't understand.
Asexual.
Asexual.
Oh, okay. All right, I see. And then Remises says Holly said Strix was open to exploring deeper relationships after the 50 years since she realized how much she missed the crew. Well, there you go. All right, we got to wrap it up. Kikka is about to be on Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and Tales from the Grim? What is
Yes, Tales from the Grim.
Okay.
Playing more Dearnay Hall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Different group of people where she's the same crotchety, grumpy.
All right.
Sarcastic.
All right, why don't we do
Journey
plugs?
we all love.
Let's do plugs real quick. So, Kiki, got any other plugs? You're going to be on Tales from the Grim. Anything else you want to plug?
Well, on Thursday mornings, I'm on Secrets of Castle Greyhawk on the Greyhawk channel.
That's right. And you have a dart named Bart Dartman.
I'm playing Litria, the first Dungeons and Dragons character I made ever back when I was a youngin'.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm on too many things to list right now. Just follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/KikkaVO, and I'll tell everybody what I'm in there.
All right. And Kikka, thank you very, very much for appearing on the show. We really appreciate
Thank you
it.
for having me. I really appreciate it.
You were tremendous on the show.
So glad people enjoyed my performance. I
Yeah.
just wanted to make a show that normal, regular fans of DCA would enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, and looking forward to seeing you on the show many more times. Rena, you got any plugs?
Just follow me on Twitter at MIKO_CARINA or Mika Karina. And it's the same pretty much everywhere unless it's Rena Cat. And on Sundays, I play my druid Shadarkai named Winthrop. He went through some surgeries last time. And now has bat wings. So yeah, that's Dungeon Academy every Sunday. So if you want to see me play, that's where I am.
Sean, you got any plugs?
Yeah, so Fridays on Encounter Roleplay, we're playing in Octung Cthulhu, which is going to be World War II themed horror. That's at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And on Saturdays on this channel, 6:30 p.m., it's Hell's Rebels. We're kind of at a point where maybe our group of nobles aren't the best people, considering what happened last week.
What?
You get married to a serial killer, kill the serial killer, and then ruin a high school girl's life.
They did. They did do that.
They did.
Dear Lynn, do you have any plugs?
I do. Also on Saturday on Sean's channel, Power Square RPG, at 3 p.m., right before Hell's Rebels, we do Waterdeep Dragon Heist, where we are, looking for the Stone of Galore. My character might work for Jarlaxle, and all the other characters might work for other people, and it might be messy. We might all kind of have faction obligations, and they're asking us to go different ways. So come see how that turns out. I'm sure it'll be fine.
And everybody, don't forget that I run the Dice Camera Action Wiki, so you can go on Gamepedia, the Dice Camera Action Wikipedia page. I updated it for every episode. You're free to go in there and add more material and change stuff up and fix stuff that I, screwed up or whatever. And yeah, and we'll be back Saturday. I'll be running some games on this channel then. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody in the chat. It was awesome. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you all again next week.